Welcome back, everybody, to the Blizzard Arena here in Los Angeles. We're going into our final match of the day. It's going to be the Shanghai Dragons versus the Chengdou Hunters. And, well, we're not going to get to see any Ash, contrary to the...
You don't know that. Oh, these teams, you don't know that.
Oh, really? All right, tell me, X. Give me the skinny.
It's wild card teams. I mean,
right.
Even Shanghai has played some really strange stuff, especially on Dorado with that year map 4, and then Chengdou. Man, I love Chengdou. They play everything. I would not be surprised to see Ash. I would not be surprised to see anything from these teams.
That's the main thing. Although you do tend to say that, you know, the Hunters, they stick to their guns. They play their own brand.
Yeah.
And, well, that is kind of what we expect to see in this matchup. They got a lot to prove, Hex.
Yeah.
But, you know, the other team that's got something to prove, Shanghai.
A little less to prove now as Shanghai finally got their first win. And it's kind of strange in sports, you'll hear like, it's been 20 years since this team made the playoffs. And obviously, that's a different team, they're different people. It's been 20 years, right? So Shanghai, different roster almost entirely, only a couple holdovers, but that still gets in your head a little bit, the brand that Shanghai's winless. So now they can focus and move on, this all new roster. They got their one win behind them. Now it's time to see, how are they legitimate? Some people have them as top 10 team in the league. I want to see a little bit more of them. And it's strange because it could be a situation where they don't even prep for Chengdou, because how are you going to prep for Chengdou? But then they have Dallas 2 games in a row coming up next. So that might be all of their prep going into that. You just prep for Dallas and really focus on your 3-3, which is what Dallas runs, not what Chengdou runs.
Well, they're not going to keep us waiting for long, Hex.
Good.
That's the good news. We're going to get right into our last match and welcome the team to the stage, the Shanghai Dragons.
They were fan favorites last year. As everyone loves an underdog story. That was the underest of underdogs last year. There's Loopy coming in, part of a revamped support line. The entire roster is mostly changed, except for Geggery is back. Gamsu is the new addition. A lot of talent on this team. It's just about putting it all together. You know, they got the first win, only 1 and 2. So still some hope for stage playoffs for this team, surprisingly.
That's, I mean, exactly. We're still early days here, Hex. Beginning of a new season with a new roster, essentially. I mean, they have set their sights higher than last year. Last year, you know, underdog, toy dog, you know, kind of just all sorts of fun.
Yeah. Now,
going into it, they're going to face off against their opponents who have got a bone to pick with them. It is the Chengdou Hunters.
I mentioned the term wild card, curveball, shenanigans, clown fiesta, fiasco, whatever. Last week I called them brawlers and scrappers. They've really embraced that, and they just play a completely different style. Guangzhou has tried some of the stuff. I mean, I guess everyone's advice to teams playing them is just don't try to play their style. They're going to do it better than you. They've embraced the chaos. Everyone on this team plays really well. Of course, everyone knows Amon is going to be the hamster, and then you've got a great Pharah play. Late Young's played a lot. I mean, just across the board, this team is, I don't know, it's a welcome reprieve from some of the Overwatch that we see throughout most of the day, because they're not going to always run 3-3. Variety is the spice of life.
Exactly, and they are high on life right now because we do get to see quite a bit of hamster just rolling. I mean, just getting in there and doing work stuff.
No.
I went for it.
No. We are not Limp Bizkiting today.
Use the music. But, you know, the Chengdou Hunters, we're going to see, you know, can they roll their way to victory? Definitely big fans of Hammond. I'm a fan of the hamster, and it's, well, we'll see if the Shanghai Dragons are fans as well.
I'm just a fan that they play their own style, their own brand. I mean, Chinese Overwatch has always had its own meta, right? And now they've kind of brought it in. Before anyone played Doomfist, they were playing Doomfist. And they don't care. They don't care what the meta is. They're going to play their own style. And Chengdou really wants to be known as the Chinese team.
So let's go ahead and take a look at the maps for this series. Final series of the day presented to you by Toyota. Busan. We've been seeing a lot of Busan lately, Hex. You and I, at least personally.
Love it. I absolutely love Busan. I'm just a fan of this map mode in general. If I could only play one map type in my Overwatch ladder, it would just be Control. I love the chaos. I love being able to actually run Tracer without your team yelling at you too much. But this is exactly kind of the map that Chengdu's made their style known on, and then other teams have tried to match their style on Busan, and it has not worked out greatly for a lot of teams.
To no avail. Chengdu knows something that the other teams don't. Or they're trying to figure it out. But the book is checked out of the library. They gotta wait, Hex. You know, they gotta wait on that guy who's always late.
All right, so Amon on the Hammonds. It's the one small variation that they have here. They're going to run it with a Zarya. Late Young's going to be playing the Zarya. On the other side of things, it is 3-3 with a Winston variation. So a couple different main tanks here.
Literally just pinballing around there in the streets, but now we're going to see him try and work his way closer. It is Amon just goes barreling into the competition. Big slam, the stun, the focus fire. No shenanigans allowed this time. Instant punish, and I hope that's not going to throw him off, because right now the Shanghai Dragons are just barreling into the Hunters.
Just crushed that first fight. The way you deal with this style, Chengdou, I call them a wild card, but they kind of only have this curveball pitch, right? Where Hammond is going to go in, he's going to try to disrupt, and the rest of the team tries to pick you off. So a lot of the pressure is going to be on Youngjin here to use the shield bash to stall him out, make sure he can't move, because once you take away Hammond's mobility, he becomes just a giant ball that you can charge up your ults on.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like Roadhog Light. There it is, another smash, another stun combo, and another kill. Going to keep trying to run this? I think not. Gamsu is getting topped up. He dropped dangerously low there, but this should be another fight in which the Hunters have to back off.
This is a situation where you just have to play around your Brigitte here, because if you get isolated by this Hammond, you're going to be in trouble. But if you play with your Brigitte, you stun, focus fire, and they've gotten absolutely nothing from Amon so far.
Can't save him. Wondering on the positioning from Late Young if he's getting the bubble out in time. Wasn't quite able to spot it. Up on the roof, he misses his smash, and so we will have rallies thrown in here from both teams. Looking to take the fight. Late Young will get the good focus from his support, barely surviving the focus fire there. Self-destruct is chucked over the side, and now it's all or nothing here. We have the trance getting used by Keo, keeping his teammates up, but not quite. Amon gets overwhelmed. Man advantage, although that ends as the self-destruct goes off. Coma is out of it, so it's a 5-on-5 fight, and Amon is going to be able to get into this much faster.
They should be able to get back, but Late Young ends up eating his own self-damage. Keo falls, Jin move balls. This one is all Shanghai thus far. Only one kill on the board for Chengdou. So we reach 80% control for the Dragons.
Yeah, they're looking so solid, but this has been kind of the theme of the day, it feels like, on these control maps to kick things off. First point, one team stomping repeatedly on another. And unless the Hunters can come up with a solution here, they're going to be hard-pressed. Mines are up for Amon, so we'll see. We have the rally used as well to initiate. Amon on a mission right now, looking to come in on a clever angle. He's going to set up on point, could use these mines to zone out a corner of it as well. Just making sure he dodges the self-destruct. No worries there. Still a few ults online here for the Dragons.
He drops the mine, he gets grabbed immediately. Nice focus there as Luffy gets him down, and then transcendences as well. Now it looks like it's just time for cleanup. So much cleave damage from Gamsu. Primal Rage, and there's an edge over there.
Yeah, exactly. I was just thinking, chuck him in front of the tracks. It'll be a tragedy. Not quite working it out. Gamsu just doing a good job of just staying alive at this point.
Well, Late Young's coming back in. He's got grab and gets very low, so he has to use it. Desperation grab works out. Chengdou will clean up the remainder of this fight. Finally get some kills. Finally win a team fight decisively. You're going to have to hold on for the rest of this map, as the Dragons only need one more fight win to take control back of the point. Gamsu's going to switch it onto a Reinhardt instead.
Yeah, so, well, I mean, Shanghai Dragons, they seem aware, obviously, of the situation right now. They're going to go ahead and play the long game. Get that shield, that reliable shield to hide behind. And well, Amon looking to slam. Yep, gets nearly all of them. Has to back out though. The focus fire has been excellent on Shanghai's side. They really know how to really put the pressure here on Amon, who's going to be looking for the flank on Gamsu, just doing the best he can to survive. Rest of the team, however, are clashing. DM going in for the grab. They lose Gamsu here on the Dragons, but then get the double kill, Late Young included. That's the real high value kill.
And Eviltal almost had sound barrier up too. He's 91%. Can they stall out long enough to get him back in? A little juke off the side. Elsa goes down too. It's desperation time. They're going to be able to get their Lucio back in at least.
Yeah, they need to do a little bit of surviving though, and it's going to be the sound barrier just to buy time. Hoping that they can hold, but it's not looking likely. Gamsu showing them how a hamster gets played in the end. And the Shanghai Dragons, so solid on the first point. Even when the Hunters manage to flip the point their way, it doesn't really feel like Shanghai are flustered. It feels like they're just going to go ahead and win that one key fight that gets the job done.
Yeah, and we talk about the prep for Chengdou. How do you practice against this? I don't know that you necessarily need to. Again, I've maybe overstated how kind of wacky it is now that we've gotten a couple weeks of Chengdou. they do the same thing every time, and not everybody does, but Amon pretty much does the same thing every time. So if you're in position with some of those stuns, with some of the crowd control, you're able to stun him and kill him. I mean, the first couple fights were just disastrous.
It was just him dying,
yeah.
among dying, and then
you know, rest of the jumping on the rest of the team.
Exactly, there's nothing to stop him at that point. So, yeah, a bit of a questionable approach so far, but we'll see. I mean, Shanghai Dragons clearly prepared, or at least they've got a game plan going into this, and it's working so far. It's on the Hunters now to show their versatility. They have to change up on the spot here if they want to get something done on the second point. Otherwise, Shanghai Dragons going to pick up the first map of this series. Best of 5 series, we're looking for the first team to 3 maps. So now this is the dance. Everybody, you know, Gamsu trying to be sneaky, kind of tough as a 600-pound gorilla.
Now the initiation comes in. So far, Amon has lived a little longer than the last stage at the very least. Both teams kind of feeling each other out, trying to build up ultimates here. The slam comes in, big disruption, but his team's a little late to follow up on it, and Shanghai's able to regroup. Gamsu very low right now, though. He will be the first to fall.
And there we go, some success, no doubt. Help from the Discord orb. The focus fire rather, just too hot on Gamsu. Trading tanks, name of the game it seems, and Leithyong going to be able to cut him off as well. Looking for the follow-up, long distance, not going to get it. And instead, the Hunters get to back off. And here's a change of strategy coming through now for the Dragons.
Yeah, Ding is going to go on to the Sombra. Sombra also really good at dealing with the Hammonds. And now that they're already behind in ultimates, it can help you win a fight with a single ultimate.
No, grab gets thrown in, and Hamong just gets obliterated yet again. Gone. Ult has been used, however, by Jinmu, so that's the rally out of it. Bonus armor there for the team. Self-destruct over the side. Nobody found, and the Halcon on Eviltop means that he's just going to have to back off. This was a lost fight anyways for the Hunters. You do not want to be using ults at this point.
Amon is going to try to stall. He's on the point, has mines, but there he goes. He gets hacked. He gets taken out as well. The Dragons have restabilized, and now they're going to have EMP going into the next fight, probably a Shatter too. An EMP Shatter can be enormous, although Shatter is very likely to find value against a team like Chengdou anyway, because there's really no shield to block it.
And just once again, straight in with the mines this time. Decides to cut off the right flank. Among still on the hunt right now for a target, trying to take advantage of that bonus shield, and instead he's just going to whip himself into the fight. Has to be careful though. Now you can see he's kind of just paying attention, trying not to overextend. He's staying close to his supports, and that doesn't change the fact that he's still going to die. Everybody out of it. Shanghai Dragon's going to roll him.
Now this kind of strategy works best when it's not really run with the rest of 3-3. It's like they're running 3-3 and just having Amon run hamster. It works when Amon is able to get in there, do a lot of damage, and then he's got flankers and damage healers to help him up, to be able to finish these kills.
Sombra.
Because he doesn't get final blows as Hammond very often. He does a lot of damage, but you need someone else there. You're going to try to hit the Shatter here, but nice sound barrier defense. And Amon comes in on the Rhine, gets the first kill onto Gamsu.
Yeah, perfectly timed. Gamsu out of it, and the grab gets thrown in as well. Does force the trance out of Kyo, but the rally is now online, and the Hunters really committing to this fight. They want to find the kill on DM, and they will succeed. The rest of the team follows, and the Hunters certainly will succeed in flipping the point. A bit more fight here. Big thing is that they've broken. Hex took a point and a half, but we no longer have a hamster.
I know. It's a bummer, but I'm okay with it. I understand you have to kind of win. It doesn't work in this kind of a scenario. Now, if we go to a third stage and it's mecha base, I'd be surprised not to see hamster again. Leithyong almost has grab up. Amon, who just switched to Reinhardt, at 60% on his Earth Shatter, so they're going to have some stuff to work with here.
And, well, Gamsu's there to lead the charge. Rally gets used as the grab gets thrown in. Self-destruct, point blank, and Gamsu taken for a ride! The Hunters with the perfect combo. That's exactly how it's supposed to go down, and they win the fight handily.
Well, and now it's going to be up to the Dragons to get back to the point. There is an EMP ready and a sound barrier. I would expect Amon to throw the Shatter in as soon as he sees an opening. If he can just put him on the ground, then they're going to win the point by default.
The EMP gets used, but that was clever. Kyo able to cut his line of sight, so he has trance. Going to be difficult to find kills to capitalize off of it, and the Hunters will be able to block Shanghai Dragons at the choke point. No touch on the point, no contest, and it's a tied up first map so far. We're going to Mecha Base, Hex.
Yeah, we might see some shenanery going into Mecha Base.
This is where you can see like Tracer Sombra.
These Zenyatas are so ridiculous in the Overwatch League. Zenyatta, in most games, it's just hard countered by Sombra. Strips off his shields down to 50 HP. You might as well just be a wisp in the wind, and when you get EMP, you might as well just die. But these Zenyatas are hiding, they're protecting their team with Transcendence. They get Transcendence the moment they hear a decloak. I'm just waiting for the next level strats where you hear a decloak and then you don't EMP to bait out the Transcend, and then it becomes these crazy 9th level mind games. Hamster back in the mix, but again, going just with the 3-3 with a Hamster in it. I kind of preferred it when they ran this with more DPS, but we'll see if it works out here.
Possible. Unfortunately, combo is not there. Does manage to go ahead and get that bubble popped. So a little bit of damage there for Late Young, bit of energy. Gamsu on the Rhine, just marching his way forward, and we've got Ding, he's changed over to the Sombra. So we will have that Sombra in play here now that they saw that Amon was going to try and stick to his old ways. Oh, that would be a nice hack, but it's not going to happen.
Still stunned, he's going to have to roll away. No one in control just yet, but still full fighting force. This is where Hamster can be so difficult to fight. He can knock people off.
Exactly, especially when you catch him in the open. Glad we got the overhead view there to really see it in all its glory. But Amon coming right over the top. Everybody getting knocked up in the air. Gamsu dropping dangerously low, and his team just not able to keep it together.
Tried to go for the mid-air hack, I believe, unable to finish that one off. Late Young now has Graviton. Surge, the follow-up would be maybe a minefield dropped on top of it. I like how it looks. It's not always the most effective thing, but it's a unique combination.
Oh, Rally just throw. Grab is in. Gamsu with the first kill, following it up with a shatter. No hesitation on his part. Jinmu is low, and the EMP comes in as well. This has got to be the KO punch. Self-destruct canceled out. And it's certainly going to be Shanghai Dragons looking fairly good here. They've got a presence on the point, about to flip it. Need a contest here from the Hunters, and they get it.
The Hunters will jump in and out onto the point. A late Graviton. Is there any cleanup for this team? There's the minefield, but it's a little bit too late. It comes as the Graviton has dissipated.
Yep, second too late there, unfortunately. You can admire the thought, though. Did get a good slam, but now he's gone. And it is Shanghai Dragons so far winning this fight. They do succeed in flipping the point. And that stops the Hunters at 60%. Nice round number.
The late chase comes in, fully charged Zarya at about 70%, does a ton of damage. Able to get the DMAC. They're not even gonna have to chase the Pilot Diva. Elsa just gonna switch heroes, I believe, and then get back onto the Diva, get a remech that way. Probably not real close to the self-destruct. Now the Dragons have the Graviton of their own, and most importantly, both support ultimates. On the other side, support ultimates are gonna be up for Chengdou, so see if they use barrier here. Nope.
Point blank grab. Kyo does manage to commit the trance in here, but they still lose Jinmu. That's going to slow things down here for the Hunters. I'm going to have to be careful. He doesn't get overwhelmed either. Shanghai doing a really good job of taking the fight to him, and they still have the EMP and the Shatter combo to continue to buy time with.
This is the downside of not being ultra practiced on 3-3. You see a lot of these things are coming a second too late. They really wanted to use Transcendence during that grab. He didn't have it during it, so then they lose one early on. Huge EMP comes in, gets 2 hacked. Only 1 kill so far, but now they're just chasing it down. Dragons looking to punish.
Oh, buddy, there you go. Youngjin gets the kills. Gamsu's there to set him up. And they still have both of their support ults on the side of Shanghai. Taking the lead now as well. Gamsu not looking too stressed at the situation either. So that's on the Hunters now to try and make it work. They're still so far off on their ults, but it is going to be the rally to lead the way. Speed this team up and try and get them onto the point all the quicker. Ding just going to open it up with a kill on Kyo, though, and it's Late Young now. Kind of from his perspective. There's the grab. Going out. Point blank. Looking for shots. Not going to find him, though, because the trance is there. Luffy keeping his team up. And then we've got the follow-up sound barrier. This is going to be the knockout punch thrown in by Shanghai. Self-destruct completely useless on Elsa's side. And Shanghai on the edge of pulling it off. Jinmu going to try and buy time on the point.
Another enormous EMP. Gets to a late hack on Elsa. Will add a 4 to that list of useless people on the point. Desperation. Earthshatter comes in, but that is going to be Shanghai taking our first map of Busan. The Dragons, no longer dormant, come out swinging.
Doing an excellent job here with the follow-up. You know, some questions coming into this match. Will they be able to keep the streak alive? Are they going to be able to start getting those W's on the board often? We'll find out if it can keep it up after the break.
The Overwatch League is powered by Intel. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7. And by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League.
Countdown has begun to get into the second map of this series. Shanghai Dragons in the lead. They let it go to 3 points, Hex, but the last one looked decisive. What do the Hunters got to do to change things around here, man?
Well, I mean, Monty always says when you play Chengdou, you can't opt into the clown fiesta, right? You got to play your own style. If I'm Chengdou, I don't want to opt into the boring life style of 3-3 that everyone else is running, right? You're not as practiced on it as some of these other teams, and it was evident based on how some of the ultimates were used. And there was almost no combination attempt with a graviton into a self-destruct. The transcendences were late. Everything just seemed a second off, not as crisp as teams that practice at 3-3. What I'd like to see Chengdou do is just do what they normally do. Throw some weird stuff at them, see if the other team can handle it, because right now their 3-3 does not look up to snuff. And then they always started at a disadvantage on 3-3 because they'd start with Hammond, then switch to Reinhardt. Like, if you're going to commit, really commit, or, in my opinion, just don't commit at all. Now, this is offense on Numbani, so this is what they like to run. They like to run a Pharah and a Sombra, and this has been very good for them in the past. We've seen Hammond actually work earlier today for London, I believe. Ran a Hammond trying to knock people off the stairs, so I don't dislike it. This is the Chengdou I want to see. You're not going to beat people at their own game, just as people aren't going to beat you at your own game.
Yeah, there you go. Change it up. Force them. Rewrite the rules. Gamsu on the edge right now. Among just trying to keep a little bit of a presence. And right now it's going to be Jinmu and Yveltal up in the air. The pharmacy is open for business. And they are just pummeling at this point. Not a whole lot of answers on the Dragon side for this.
Yeah, I mean, not a whole lot would be an understatement. 0 answers. Maybe
Listen, Zenyatta,
anybody up there, but
anybody can channel their inner Jonak, man. Anti-air, who needs it? I've got 10.
You need to Discord and then chase it with the Diva, but the problem is they're hanging out over the ledge as well, so they're playing so far away that that's almost not even an option as well. They're just going to try to do as much poke damage and hopefully get a kill. Want some disruption from Amon coming in as well, and then trying to isolate targets here.
Oh, I don't think he saw him. Oh, that's unfortunate. I don't know if he spotted Luffy out. That would have canceled out the trance. Instead, the trance gets used right now.
That's really good for them. They're going to have EMP and Barrage, and that's what you're waiting for. Nano boost onto the Pharah. That's one way to live through a barrage. They do get one kill. Now it's time for the cleanup as the minefield drops as well. I don't like that.
What don't you like about it, X?
That was a one fight. You already won the fight. There were 3 dead, and then you just choose to hack anyway. I mean, you're supposed to hack the planet, not hack a small rural town of population 5, right? Not quite the value play.
You know, I'm sure there's other evil corporations that will benefit.
However, they might be switching off of this anyway. So there's very possible that like they don't want to run the Sombra, so they might just use it anyway. But still, I think you could have saved it for like this point and then translocated back to spawn. It looks like they're staying on it anyway.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just watching to see if there are going to be anything, any major changes coming through, but it's not looking like it. At least for now, they're sticking to their guns. I mean, nearly have a boost online. It's looking like the Mercy's still going to stay in play here as well, and so the Dragon's now ready to just set up shop.
Yeah, I think staying on this at the percentages you're at makes a world of sense. You're nearing a Valkyrie, you're nearing Nano Boost, you've got almost everything else online. You know what'd be awesome to combo with this would be an EMP.
As you look away, you need to turn the mic away if you do that, man. Oh man, Gamsu's going to open it up, punishes him. The helmet is out.
They might just wait for EMP anyway. Now that Elsa's at 75%, that's really one tank farming, translocate back into spawn kind of roundabout anyway. So we'll see if they can get in position to get this EMP charge and then use the barrage, but Shanghai should know it's coming.
It's not really working around the edges though, Elsa. He's kind of hanging out in the front lines. Self-destruct is just going to go sailing in. Doesn't really connect with anybody. Kind of forces him around, but not quite what they were looking for perhaps. And well, here we go. It is going to be the barrage. Straight in, 2 kills immediately. Make that a 3rd. Could not have gone better, but a boosted barrage does so much damage.
That's one heck of a barrage right there. Did not even need to use the EMP. Now trying to get the final cleanups here. Elsa does come in big with the late cleanup on that damage dealing Sombra, and now the carts are rolling.
And with the wings online as well, they've got some throughput EMP as well now, and we will have Dings switch over to an EMP of his own, or at least a Sombra of his own, which will eventually lead to an EMP of their own, which might lead to a win, Hex.
Right. Now earlier,
see that chain of thought connected the dots? I'm awesome.
There's the EMP right there. Catches Sabril, and the self-destruct comes in late, ends up taking down DM. And now Shanghai needs to try to get some kills here because they just committed a lot of ultimates to this fight. They used Rally, they used Sound Barrier as well. Trying to get back in here and fight. Another barrage is going to shut the door, literally. And yeah, this is the Chengdou I like watching.
Yeah, this is it. This is what we want to see. Shanghai not quite knowing how to handle this. They're just getting pummeled. And that's a 2nd point picked up. 3.5 minutes here to find success with the 3rd.
One of the reasons they got off of the D.Va is that Graviton self-destruct is not going to have that much impact when everyone is so spread out. However, getting off the D.Va means that this Pharah is going to just do whatever she wants to do.
Kind of, nope. There's a personal pocket healer flying in the skies alongside Jinmu. Doesn't have to worry about a couple orbs. You need headshots to drop
Yeah, they tried to hack it. When you hack a bar, all of her abilities make her drop like a stone to the ground, but there is the grab early on. Amon has been the target of several solo grabs so far this series.
And that is going to slow things down here, Hunters. You see them backing off. I mean, he's out there. That is kind of a Hammond thing, just out on your own, but he was really out there on his own. Like, nobody around. Nobody line of sight to help him, and so that's just going to delay things further. But again, because the Hunters have been fairly efficient, they've still got some good time here to work with. 2.5 minutes on the clock. And the Dragons, they've got Thing, keeping an eye on him. Yep, sure enough, there's the EMP. Hits the Pharah, hits the Mercy. There's the Brigida follow-up, and that combo is dead.
I really like the adjustment the Dragons have made on reevaluating the value of ultimates, knowing what you're going up against. So they got off of the D.Va because the ultimate's not going to have that much value. You're not going to have giant Gravitons with this giant clumped up team. And then also they're using Grav in a way to just get 1 kill because you're not going to grab everybody in it based on what Chengdou's running. So they reevaluated how much ultimates are worth and when to use them, and they've actually ended up using them to great effect.
A couple of solid ults on the line as well now. Luffy and Gamsu keeping an eye on them. That Shatter could be, well, fight changing here. And sure enough, just going to throw it in. They can eliminate late dunk. This could get interesting, but instead it's going to be yet another barrage coming right through. Trance gets used, only picks up the 1 kill, but still, that's DM out of the fight. No Zarya here to bolster the damage on Shanghai's side.
Well, they were able to isolate Gamsu. They've got to get this kill, though. Now he's got his team in there. There's the EMP, and now just looking for the cleanup through the skies. They've got everything they're looking for. 90 seconds remain for Chengdou to try to finish out Numbani.
Solid work. They're nearly there. Respawn time is going to be back here for Shanghai, though. They are going to be able to force their way out through the choke. Elsa hanging out on the edge. No EMP, though, so it's just point-blank farming. Keo taking advantage of the sniper scope to just get that long-range heal going. And now you're kind of just sitting. There you go. There's the boost. Do we have a combo online? Jinmu's nearly got the barrage.
You could boost Jinmu, and he will get to his combo, or get to his barrage, rather.
Tough. EMP is in. DM is going to find it. This is just going to be the straight boosted on the ground. Farah, point-blank rockets, still finds a kill. Has to be careful, though. Might not be enough. Sound barrier getting thrown in by Shanghai.
Wait for his healing to come back up. Got to get out of there. A little misto concussion might cost him. You want to use that blast to get yourself out of harm's way, but it can be very finicky on some of these surfaces, whether it launches you enough to get away. He does pay his life for it. 30 seconds remain. Chengdou needs to be patient here. You only have one fight. That's it. You're just going to have one fight. So you can wait for everybody to be in the right position.
Or you can get picked off. There you go. Late Young taken for a ride he did not want to get on.
They're going to get the res, though.
They do get the res off. And so Late Young still has to start over with the energy. We're going to get the pocket at Jinmu. Goes for the barrage. Doesn't find any kills. Solid positioning from Shanghai, negating the ultimate. Elsa's got the EMP online, and he will get the flank. 3 hacked for the Dragons, but they're doing a good job of spreading it out. It's making it difficult for the Hunters to get the focus fire necessary to find kills. Oh, there it is. The follow-up, Eviltal out. That's a huge amount of healing gone. Ding just following it up, and Shanghai Dragons going to hold in the end.
A spirited offense from Chengdou, an entertaining offense at the very least, but they're unable to close out the map. And again, even despite not running 3-3, not being crisp, it does seem like there's still a couple combination issues that aren't working well. They'll use big damage ults and then EMP afterwards, whereas if you're just a little more patient, Late Young should not have been peeking around the corner when they got grabbed early in that fight, and that made them have to go back to spawn. There's just some very small errors that if they're corrected, then you're winning maps more efficiently or easier at least.
But then they wouldn't be as chaotic.
I know, so I'm kind of torn.
Are you torn or not? Because
No,
I'm a little torn.
Yeah, they're not really this chaos team. It just seems like that because of the compositions, but they are trying to work some of these together. But then sometimes when a fight breaks down, they're just like, yeah, just go for it. Just go for it. They believe that they can trade up, get 2 kills for 1 ultimate, get 2 ultimates used for 1, and why wouldn't they believe that? It's worked for them in the past.
Well, we're about to find out if chaos does indeed reign here. As the Dragons are going to flip over to the offense, and it's up to the Hunters to get an organized defense together. They need to snuff the Dragons and tie up this series. Dragons, though, they're definitely looking for that 2-0 lead. And because the Hunters did not succeed in getting a 3rd point. Definitely possible here for Shanghai.
I'm a little bit surprised they didn't switch off of their composition onto last, because they got second with a good amount of time in the bank. Yeah. They could have built up for 3-3. That's what they've done on this map before, is they run that kind of weird combination of heroes early, but then when it gets to the final push, they just switch to standard 3-3. So opted not to in this situation.
You know, after Control, after Busan, lost faith perhaps in the style or in their ability to play it. We shall see, though. Offense now begins for Shanghai, and already getting pummeled, getting smushed. Fluffy is out of it, and Diding looking for the follow-up. This is uncomfortable. That's uncomfortable. Jinmu just getting caught up completely.
And there goes your Genji.
Yeah, I know, kind of like, how does this pan out?
Nice to see you. I mean, 53% charge is pretty good. They're going to try to get a blade up and hack through some of these beefier characters here. Shanghai taking this slow road up to the high ground.
Gamsu's gone for the change as well, so we have the Winston, so that he has mobility, so he can do exactly that. Not that, actually. Not the dying part. That's not part of the plan. But a beautiful sleep getting thrown in by Keo just punishes Gamsu. He was asleep mid-air and then focused down.
Should be able to demec the Siva. Actually, down at the Mega Pack. Yeah, not going to save you very long, but we do appreciate you donating that health pool to our ultimate charges. Now the stagger.
Yes, Jinmu, he's ready to whip out the blade. Do not oblige Ding, but they are going to do it anyway. Eviltal, it's not all about the stats.
Well, see where they want to use this blade here. I mean, EMP blade is a devastating combo. EMP anything, it so seems is a devastating combo. Turns out using abilities is really good, and not being able to use abilities is very bad.
Especially because Shanghai on the offense, they have to group up. They have to stay focused. With their spread out, you're not going to have as much fun in terms of picking people off. But now, Gamsu going to lead the way, instantly countered by a nano boost. He needs to get more out of this. Only the one kill. 2 ultimates, only one, but that still sets it up. It cut off the support from the front line, and Gamsu in the meantime dies. Shanghai Dragons bleeding more time off the clock.
Yeah, they're gonna have to back out a little bit. They did want that ultimate to be used, so the 1 kill is bad when you nano boost a Genji. You expect more out of that. I'm still surprised they're not using EMP with some of this stuff, because that seems like it would have cut it up. Not the case though. Now time to rally and push.
EMP though, that's not about to happen. Self-destruct in the open, finds no targets. Instead it's someone getting cut off from the rest of his team. Feel like we've been saying that a lot. Still 5 alive here for the Hunters. Still a tough defense for the Dragons to crack. Can't really get their fangs sunk in. Both of their tanks dead.
EMP self-destruct went in. So now Shanghai with under 90 seconds, going to have a Graviton, and Yveltal is going to have to hold on to this Transcendence to save his team in a grab, but they're so spread out, they might just grab Among again.
They're thinking about it, tempted. Might go ahead and throw it now that he's getting low. No, just focus him down. Pack just a second too late there, unfortunately, and now we're getting some real progress on the point here for the Dragons. 2 ticks, looking like a third. Late Young gonna delay, but it was Pilot Diva, not the real big thing, and so that's it. Shanghai Dragons find success. First point for them, and now they get 3.5 minutes to push the payload.
All right, this is a situation where they're going to want to stay on this composition, but they need to be retreating a little bit faster. But with no Lucio, you have no retreat options. When the other team has a Lucio, they're just faster, and they're able to hunt them all the way down back to spawn.
I'm liking the bloodthirstiness out of Gamsu as well. A true dragon. Just only, it's all about dominating, Hex. Ask for no quarter, give no quarter, smash them.
Asserting your dominance.
Exactly.
All right, Elsa's trying to get in position for an EMP here. They should have Blade up for this next fight too. You can see EMP Blade, you can see EMP Mines.
Hey look, there's a Sombra. What's she about to do? Looking like it's going to be an EMP setup, and sure enough it's in. Doesn't work though, Gamsu. Gonna start it off strong. They're trading 1 for 1. Both of the Divas are battling it out, and that's gonna result in Late Young getting overwhelmed.
There's a hack up top though. Onto that Diva. Be surprised if they let him out. Din getting very low. Hacked again. This is the second time he's been hacked, and they've been unable to complete the kill.
No focus fire, no follow-up at all. Among has to back off. He can't face 1v4 like that, and so they are going to get some progress here. Nearing the second point, the Dragons. Can the Hunters stop him? This is looking a bit dicey.
Din got isolated and hacked twice and lived through it. Now he's at full fighting force on the cart, has self-destruct ready, and Chengdou just gives it up. Gives up the ghost.
They're getting isolated, Hex. Now they're getting cut up one after another. Looked like there was a combo there possible, EMP going off, and yet just lacking on the follow-through here for the Hunters. They've got no more ground to give. This is it. They need to hold here at the arch, and the self-destructs are traded. No kills through. Everybody able to find a foxhole to jump in. And now it's Gamsu just kind of leaping all over the place right now. Once again, into the back line he goes. He's dangerously low, though. Good focus from his supports there to keep him alive. Guess he's just kind of feeling, with impunity, he can just walk in and just do what he wants. Seems like it, because DM is going to kick off this party with a kill on Jinmu. Out in the open, Among is getting just ignored flat out. He's in the back trying to contest on the cart.
Yeah, speaking of just walking and do what you want, that's exactly what they did with that grab. They shot him right at the Diva. Must have known Matrix might have been on cooldown, but just the disrespect play. Elsa has to EMP. You have to EMP. Call.
Hey, it's a cloudy night, Hex.
That's a Chengdou niner right there.
Oh, buddy. They were there. Just the timing is split second off. Could not get the coordination in. Bodies were alive to be thrown on the point. They just couldn't do it fast enough. We're going to be taking a break, and when we come back, we'll hear what the halftime crew have to say.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Toyota, official North American partner of the Overwatch League. Toyota, let's go places.
Last week, the Dragons ended a 42-game losing streak. Now, they're looking at the start of a winning streak here in the Overwatch League. They're currently up 2-0 over the Hunters here at the half. We got so many happy Shanghai fans in the venue tonight because they are currently one map away from starting their first ever winning streak. We got Bren, we've got Zoe, and we've got a guy back for the Shanghai Dragons that we all got to know in his last match. Ding is popping off again, Brad.
Yep, he's a big lad. I'll give you that one for free.
The biggest of lads.
Is it a unit? Would you call him a unit?
Possibly, yeah. You know, he might be privy to that sort of label, but he's been playing very well. You know, I've been a big fan of his Sombra play. What's clear from me is that Shanghai have recognized how did they win this game? You know that Eamon, he likes to play Wrecking Ball. How do you counter that? Well, you play a lot of Sombra. You try and hack him, you try and get the disables going on the back lines. That's been the key for Shanghai Dragons. I like that they haven't been getting too caught up in trying to focus down Eamon occasionally. Sometimes they look like a dog chasing after a tennis ball, but it's only rarely, you know. But overall, Shanghai playing very well.
Yeah, Ding actually got so many hacks off. He barely died. He was incredible slippery throughout the entirety of that match. And I think this is the first team which actually managed to force Eamon away from his Wrecking Ball comfort pick and into Ryan, which oddly enough was that one round they won. Now looking at Ding's stats, it's actually incredible. For the amount of time he actually played on Busan, 30 enemies hacked. 0 deaths.
That's 30 hacks in 7 minutes.
Exactly.
Without
How
dying.
is that even possible?
Puggy, how many hacks per minute is that?
2.1 and a half.
That's not the case. No,
Yeah.
that's not true. That's not right. Now I know why you're the
2.1 and
host.
a half was my answer. I felt like Bren right there. Well, as good as Ding was and our math is bad, we should highlight what was going down in our second game, because as we went to Numbani, I thought, okay, we're going into half-tied 1-1 because Shanghai is doing nothing to counter this far play that we all expected going all the way back to the pre-show here.
Exactly, and I don't understand why they didn't try to counter it. They made a very small attempt. Ding went over to the Diva on Street's face, and after just one barrage, he's like, nah, it's fine, let's just go back to Sombra. And the only reason why they actually held them to that last point in the very end was because Ding got a big EMP off. If that wouldn't have happened, they would have lost this.
Yep, Ding, once again, I think he's standing by the title we've given him of absolute unit. You know? I think that's fair enough, because he pretty much single-handedly stopped Chengdou Hunters. He was the real key for them and ended up essentially winning them this map, at least with the defense. Didn't let Chengdou close it out, but Shanghai were really struggling for a while, and I was pulling my hair out in the back, just watching them because they literally knew how to play around this from the first map, and then they seem to have forgotten for a little bit. But here you can see Jinmu's stats, and this guy, he's played, I think I saw Captain Planet, he's putting up some stats, 23% of all the Pharah.
Probably around 25% after that match. Ridiculous
yeah, exactly.
stuff. So the question for me, though, is, yes, these numbers are great, but if you're watching the game, you saw all the resources being poured onto Jinmu to allow that to happen. Knowing that you have a Pharah, your opponent has nothing to counter, and you still don't capture the third point. Are you worried for the Chengdou Hunters in the second half, knowing that they look a little bit limited with these compositions?
Yeah, this has always been a problem for Chengdou, is the fact that they're going to be too easy to read because you kind of know what they're going to be coming out the gate with. So I feel like Chengdou should be sweating a little bit here. You know, need to be getting those personal towels out. You know, Shanghai were giving them out, I think, a year ago. Shanghai Dragons Day. Don't know when that is. When is that? Does anyone know?
It's soon. It's soon. Zoe, before we go, you and Hex were split. You won the face-off on our pre-show. Are you sticking with your prediction? Is it your Shanghai Dragons over his Chengdou Hunters?
I'm obviously winning this prediction game right now. So, yeah, Hex.
Competition.
It's definitely a competition. When I'm winning, it's definitely a competition. If not, then I'm not so sure about that.
Los Angeles, are you ready for another Shanghai Dragon win? You can tell a lot of these people were here last season. They're coming back for their second win in this second half. They need just one more map. Don't go anywhere. Plenty more Overwatch League when we come back.
They don't just play for a team. They play for every fan, every rival, every moment, every match. And when everyone watching expects the best, they perform with the best.
Welcome back from the break, everybody, and the halftime show. Hex, Zoe was throwing some shade. I know it's hard for her, but, you know.
They cheat on the desk when they do those face-offs anyway. And look, I was picking with my heart because I'm defending the integrity of the entertainment value of this league. We need Chengdou strategies to work so that they don't stop playing it. Otherwise, we're going to have 3-3 mirror matches throughout the rest of Stage 1. And I personally like some Pharah play, like some Tracer play, like some Hammond play. I like watching it. But thus far, it has not worked out very well.
So far,
it's
that's
been
been really
tragic.
brutal. We were discussing that before going into the halftime, into the break, you know, in terms of knowing when to change it up. That's probably the key.
Yeah.
Throw the crazy stuff out there, but just know when you need to go for the swap when it's not working. And so, I mean, Volskaya seen a lot of action on this map so far at the beginning of this season. It has the potential to go a long ways.
Yeah, and if Chengdou stays on this composition, I'm actually okay with it, but I want to see some improved Somber play from Elsa. I thought he got completely out-hacked by his counterpart on the other side of things, and Elsa was just too little too late, not getting to where he needed to be with those EMPs, not exactly getting the hacks or the eliminations that they needed, so I want to see him re-step up his game. He is staying on this. Let's go, Chengdou. They're going to run a Pharah again, too.
I mean, he's just got a lazy Sombra, you know? Like, Sombra's supposed to be like this ultra marathoner, you know, just non-stop moving all over the place. And he was just like, you know what, I'm just going to ride the payload.
Yeah.
I was just going to ride the payload.
And there you go. It's a nice DMEC early on, so Ding is out of it, and now they're going to be able to really rain it down from above, because there's no D.Va to stop this. Now you're just eating rockets.
Oh, nearly gets it. Thought he got the deny there. That would have been sick.
Meanwhile, the mech call down kills Amon, which is not something you see very often. It will not matter, though, as Chengdou rolls in, quite literally, gets the kill, and now they've got a huge potential because Elsa has stepped up. EMP is ready, and they're going to have Barrage.
That couldn't have gone better for the Hunters. Way to strike back. Perhaps, you know, during the break, coaches had a chance to get their input, and now they're on the same level. But from on high, Jinmu just doing his thing, cutting off some of these angles, making him a harder target to hit. And in the meantime, Elsa working on that back line. Lots of juicy targets. It is tough to nail everybody with an EMP on the defense, but he is going to go ahead and manage to pick up a few. That was a quad hack, and this is a wipe. Excellent execution coming in from the Hunters.
That's not justice raining. That is a storm from above, a torrent of rockets, and with a clean kill. That's how it's supposed to look. That's the execution that Chengdou's looking for, and you can't ask for any better.
Trying to look at the Shanghai Dragons' reactions over there. Gamsu not looking too pleased, nonplussed, amused slightly at how that went.
Well, what are you gonna do except kind of giggle that one off? Like,
You gotta shake it off.
you got Rex, then you got EMP'd Barrage. You had nothing to do. Like, that's exactly when we talk about Snowball on Assault maps. You take your dominant point A victory, and then you take that advantage in ultimates into the second point.
And this is what you get.
Yeah. This is perfect, though. They're patient on this, and then he takes this angle, knowing they're going to want to retreat, uses the movement abilities, crashes over the top. I mean, that's a 5K that's attributed only to Jinmu, but the EMP sets it up.
That's exactly right. Positioning his team, ferrying him in. Solid work from Jinmu as far. 5-kill barrage. It's not every day we get to see that, Hex. Nearly an entire team wipe based off of one ult.
I'm just imagining a ladder world where all I see are yellow Pharahs and yellow Hammonds. Like, they're really the only players in the Overwatch League representing those heroes. So you're up idols. Also, yellow just looks awesome on the skins. I guess it's like an orange. I've always kind of said it's like banana yellow, but you know, whatever.
That's a thing.
Okay, going back to spawn now.
They're cutting it close.
I mean, they're not going to be back there.
They're definitely cutting it pretty close. How quick are his hotkeys?
I mean,
go, fast. Oh, well, I mean, he is going to be on the hamster. Really cutting it close, but they might be able to make it back in time. Okay, then, on the Hunters.
They're not going to hold at the doorway like a team with a Reinhardt would anyway.
No, look what they've got. Look at this. From on high, this is the setup, the Hunters. How do you crack this? How do you get out your front door, Hex?
Look at this lower third, though, just to drive the point home. That was the fastest full clear of Volskaya, meaning both points captured, recorded in the history of the Overwatch League. We played a lot of games last year similar.
That's actually an insane stat. Okay, then. Thank you, Captain Planet. And I'm loving this setup from the Hunters right now. I mean, Shanghai are kind of locked into this building. They can hear the creaking. It's like a horror movie, you know? It's night, all the lights are off, and you hear the floorboards creaking from the attic.
And you just hear a hamster squealing.
Yeah, then it's this ominous squeaking. What could it be? Imminent death, that's what it is. Let's go. Amon looking for the back line, and he's going to find it. The pressure getting on. His teammates, however, have got to be careful, and he will eventually get deleted, as we've seen time and time again.
It looked like a missed grapple. He was starting to move, and then it stopped, and then he got bashed and cleaned up. But Chengdou's still going to fight in this because they don't really have an option to retreat. Gonna get the hack. Ildal gets the opposing supports. The rally out. Gamsu falls. And Chengdou pulls it back from the brink, as they often do. Here comes the taxi back to spawn, too.
I got things shaped up exactly. Beep, beep. Just give me a 5-star rating, please. Yeah, you'll get a 5-star. You'll get a 5-star. Let's go. Back into the action. Shanghai at the choke. This time, however, they've got some tools to use. They have the EMP on Ding. They've got Luffy's Trance online, and they're going to get smushed immediately. Mines are out, and the Shanghai Dragons getting evicted.
The boosted Hammond comes in there. 2 minutes left, and Shanghai has barely even sniffed point A. I mean, they had some back cap pressure, but there wasn't a ton there, and they've been banking up ultimates, though. Almost all 6 online for Shanghai. You'd have to expect them to win this fight, but against Chengdou, all bets are off.
Yeah, exactly. Who knows? Who knows what is possible? Well, Late Young certainly, oh man, he got a glimpse at the other side. That was cutting it close. Hack out onto Elza as well, or the EMP rather, does connect. That's gonna be a DMX Diva, and so nothing to stop DM here from chucking out the grab. Trance is in. All of the ults getting thrown into this, and the Shanghai Dragons need to get value. They need to start finding some kills. The sound barrier is gonna buy even more time.
Double stun, and now with Kyo falling, this one should just be about over. Not enough supports for Chengdou. Eviltal had some miracle plays last time. He's able to get 1 kill here, but now it's just about taking up as much time as possible.
Yeah, nice focus fire based off of the hacks. Solid work there. Shanghai, they managed to pull it together in the end. 50 seconds on the clock now. And they will get that first juicy tick. And so, we're gonna see some rotations coming out here on the Hunter's side. Time to change things up. No longer a hamster. He has morphed into a full-blown Deutsch killing machine, clad in steel.
So they make a couple switches. They're gonna have rally up. Nano should be there for a while, but as long as they can get a couple kills here, they should be able to reset and stabilize their economy, but an enormous EMP comes in.
That was looking pretty good. 3 kills immediately. They're crouched in the corner. Hex, they can't even show themselves. Petrified, that's what they are, the Hunters. Elsa's just gonna go ahead and throw himself right into it. He's dead. Solo grab onto Jinmu. They want to get the job done here. Not even gonna see it.
1 kill comes up on Agoma, but Luffy is cleaning up on the Zenyatta. That's it. No surprise it is a slower time than the Chengdou offense, but that's a nice play there. We are tied up here on Volskaya, 2-2. We're gonna run it back on the other side. We'll see you then.
If you thought it was a 3-minute break, we fooled you. We're back in the action already, everybody. 2-2 tied up.
There's some guy standing in front of his fridge now panicking. Like, I thought I had time for a sandwich. Oh, no.
Just slap some bam on that bread and get in here, man. It's tied up 2-2. The Hunters eating the Dragons, but the Dragons also got a hunt. They got a grip on that leg. They're not letting go.
Like, that was a pretty good offense from the Dragons, but they're 2.5 minutes behind the Chengdou offense. Now Chengdou has a little bit more of a traditional defense set up offensively. Dragons not going to surprise anybody. This is what they've been running a lot of the day. A 3-3 variation, 3-2-1. The 1 being the utility damage dealing hero in Sombra. And Ding's been playing that hero very well.
Indeed, he has. We saw it in the halftime. Quite a few stats. They all looked big. They all looked impressive. So we'll see, can he keep that level of performance up right now versus the Hunters, who are certainly showing that they've got some fangs of their own. And look at that, just barrels straight through. As soon as the tanks are off the high ground, all right, time to go. And he manages to whip his way back to the point into safety.
You see even a great Hammond player like Amon have trouble getting in and out of places sometimes because the control is so different. It's momentum driven. It's like kind of like like an ice level in a platformer, right? You can't stop on a dime, and now he gets a little bit of trouble taken out, but Luffy exchanged for the other side, 5v5.
That was a nice hack there to set it up for Ding. Long range with the Uzi is not the best, though. DM will find Late Young, and Ding is still working on it. He's got that EMP going strong here, so things are looking up for Shanghai. That's the first tick picked up for them. Certainly going to be a few more of those to follow because the Hunters are backing off.
That's reset time, and this can be an issue because EMP is ready to go. We've seen that power on taking it from point A to point B onto your second attack. This one is all on Kyo. He should have Transcendence up, just even through passive and hitting a single orb. Can he get it to mitigate the EMP? It's the big question right now.
We're about to find out.
He's
Look at
hiding.
this. Yeah, he's right there onto the juicy targets. Does manage to get a hack on 3, but he misses out on the Zen, and that means that the trance is going to get used by Kyo. Doesn't matter. Turns out they get obliterated. Shanghai Dragons just barreling through yet again.
You want to use your Transcendence to save yourself from an EMP? What are you going to have left for the Graviton Surge that is yet to follow? Now Jinmu just trying to get out with this rally. Last second gets there.
Unbelievable, 99.6. He couldn't cut it closer. Sid is going to get in, but the kills are still coming through for Shanghai, and they've got the sound barrier to help them out. They are going to be impossible to stop now, and as soon as the Hunters are off the point, the Dragons will end up getting their second one. So 4th point, 4 points for the Dragons, 2 for the Hunters. We're going to flip sides, and we'll see if the Hunters can reproduce the magic.
I think we might be in for, 6-7 Volskaya score here. It looks like no defense really being played, but it's really on the offense. They've been using their ultimate economy so well from first point to second point. This is what you expect. When you win first point that well, you're going to have the advantage. How do you use the advantage? And it was just really well played from Shanghai there. They EMP'd, knowing that, okay, if we get the Zenyatta, we're just going to win the fight. If we don't, he's going to have to use Transcendence to keep his team alive. And then they are going to have nothing for the grab. So just really well played. They knew exactly the order of operations and the win conditions to play to. Now let's see if Chengdou can do the same thing they did on the first offense.
I mean,
See if they can break their own record.
you got to keep in mind, this is the Hunters battling for their life in this series. Shanghai Dragons currently lead 2-0. We're looking for the first team to reach 3. So, on the Hunters, looks like they want to rinse and repeat. Elza had an excellent performance first time around on offense for the Hunters.
Yeah.
Total flip from Numbani, what we saw there. So,
And you might be asking yourself, why aren't they just running a Widow or a McCree? They know they're going to run Pharah. The problem is you don't know they're going to be running Pharah. And then if you do end up running a Widow or McCree, Chengdou's just going to switch and then jump on you, and it's over. So you don't really have an option against this kind of offense because the offense it has the option to switch much more easily than you do.
exactly, we see that now.
That's why you see some of the offenses on maps be a little more interesting than defenses. Not punished as hard.
Nice work. Brock gets in. Does manage to spot. Has to go for the reload. Couldn't have been worse timing. Might have been able to get a pick to kick things off here. Instead, it's Shanghai just playing the angles, trying to show as few targets as possible here for Jinmu to pummel. And in the meantime, that's going to open it up. Somehow we lose our Mercy.
Beamed down from the sky by DM apparently, but it's very strange for that to happen when you have a bar on the map. Bar was pretty high. You know, the reason why Mercy's such a good healer for Pharah, and vice versa, why they work together, why it's Pharah Mercy or Pharmacy, is the verticality allowed for escapes. And flew a little too close to the ground, got picked off. Already a better defense for Shanghai than their first point A defense.
For some reason, you know, Gamsu, he's just looking so confident right now. I was thinking, you know, he's just sitting there saying, you know, hey, even a broken clock is right twice a day. You know, maybe they got it right on the first time around. He's not looking like he's too worried this time. Chengdou still looking for a way to make it work here. I mean, they have succeeded in at least somewhat splitting up Shanghai. Ding
Barrage ready.
Yeah, Ding got silenced, but it's not the follow-up they were looking for. Only the 1 kill on Youngjin. But DM is still alive in this. Elza gets the EMP off in time. Forward hacked for Shanghai Dragons. This is the golden opportunity, and it's looking like it's slipping out of the Hunters' feelings. They've been given the slip.
EMP comes while Transcendence is still active, and that means that the window to actually do damage is lesser because everyone's still getting healed there. An interesting EMP and Barrage. Again, they didn't use them together. I just prefer the EMP to come out first and then hold on and then for the barrage. Chengdou still has some ultimates to work with. They're gonna have both tank ultimates, both support ultimates, but no DPS ults for the follow-up.
Now, the squeak of rage, you can tell that he's launching mines everywhere. And that is the opening. Perhaps we still have a presence on the point. That's Youngjin with the rally. And no kills, really. Gamsu gets hacked. Where did he get that happen to him? Okay, he's got his primal, so he's still beefy, and he will be able to back off in time, so he will survive. Sound barrier there to keep him up as well. But Koma not able to get out of the line of sight of the self-destruct. Still trading back and forth. Chengdou dropping dangerously low, but the heal, the trance there in the nick of time to keep him alive.
Dueling Transcendences. Elsa gets isolated on the backside, but a nice resurrection brings Amon back to life. Another hack, and that is finally a completion kill on Gamsu. Amon's very low. He looks like he's just going to go for it, though.
Had to happen eventually, right? Had to happen eventually. You're going to catch him out. It's on his own. And well, Jinmo, you got to stay on the point, man. I mean, he's looking for kills, but you got to capture that point. Get it done. They were looking to see if they could try and stagger things out here, the Dragons, but they are going to go chuck themselves in the cold drink. And we will get the Hunters picking up the... Never mind. Okay, there you go, Elsa. Picking up the first point.
I mean, they don't have a great track record of staying on objectives, so it would not have been too surprising. Now it's time for the snowball effect. They're just going to lay mines out on the field. A preemptive barrage. They do get one kill. EMP about ready as well.
Yeah, just throwing all of their ults in and hoping to do exactly the same thing as the first go-around. Halfway to picking up the second point now. Gamsu in the back line. Bubble has been popped. He's going to be able to leap his way back to safety, however. And we did get a DMAC on Late Young. That might slow things down.
I think Amon was trying to cover for the resurrection. They brought Amon back to life, actually. Late Young gave his life for it. Dueling Transcendences. So far, defense seems stable-ish.
Still a monster. Still a monster EMP thrown in by Elsa to set all of this up for his team. Need to get it a little bit more clean, however. Dragon's able to hold. You still got to deal with the fully buffed up Luffy on Zenyatta. He's just going to be pummeling you, and then Gamsu getting into the back line. Good support from his team.
That's nice peel there for keep the Zen alive, but only momentarily as he gets herded into Youngjin, and now you got to back out. Kyo's out of it. You're going to have ultimates to work with next fight. You've just lost both supports. It's time to go home.
Oh, Gamsu getting a bit ahead of yourself. Woo! That was cutting it close.
It's just support charge now. That's all that ends up being.
Yeah, exactly.
I just don't understand why Chengdou refuses to use ultimates together. There's like 5% away from an EMP, and then they solo barrage into a hallway. This is what has worked for you before. It's not like they don't know the formula here, but...
Just looking at it, they were like, we gotta rush, we gotta rush, we gotta get it done, and another solo barrage coming through here. Still have 4 ultimates online. Their wings are out now. Kyo with the follow-up on DM. And these are a lot of kills going the way of the Hunters. Still a possibility here for Shanghai to delay things, however, could go for the sound barrier. Exactly, gets thrown in. Koma does manage to catch out Youngjin with that as well. So the two of them working together as a trio with the help of Luffy. Just got to keep that presence going. This is still possible. Gamsu is here. Self-destruct is certainly going to force him off, though. There is so little time for them to work with, and it is going to be successful. The Hunters will pick up a second point. Tied up 4-4.
4-4. I really want to know the method to the madness, because yet again, barrage comes down as EMP is at 98%. It doesn't matter this time around as a post-barrage EMP came out after they baited out Transcendence. Maybe they just have a preference in the order of operations they like to do things, but for me, it seems like you've got 6 different players with 6 different agendas and how they want to use things, but hey, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Don't knock it if it works, you know? It ain't dumb if it works. All of those things happen, but...
Gamsu looking a little less amused now, too. That's just to point it out. You know, he had a bit of a chuckle.
Yeah.
He's looking pretty confident.
When you said nonplussed, would you say now he looks perturbed?
Slightly, somewhat, yes.
Like perturbed. If they lose, then disturbed. Rustled.
His scales.
State of the jimmies, rustled.
Oh, man. That's the brutal thing here, is that every time it feels like the Shanghai Dragons are able to kind of keep it together, but then the chaos, the sheer chaos that the Hunters are throwing at him gets the better of them. So Gamsu's got a reason to feel a little frustrated here. And the Hunters, what do we got? Because they finished with less time in the bank, they're going to start on offense.
And kick it off on offense. No surprise here. This is what they want to run. Jinmu to do all the damage from on high, and then everyone else running around with their heads on fire, getting EMPs. Amon just being annoying on the hamster. Hammond, Wrecking Ball in short when you're making calls.
He goes by Ball, and now here it is. Introduction straight in. Late Young looking to capitalize, looking to back up his tank, and not quite finding the kill, but they do manage to succeed in pushing Shanghai into the back room. Gamsu gonna go ahead, start to get the contest train going. Can they find anybody, though? A solid hack there is going to slow things down for Ding, but his teammates are still hanging in there. Gamsu, however, getting focused. He's got to be careful, and he will go down, but Ding is able to trade it for Keo.
Well, they might be able to resurrect this if they can cover on time, but Mercy gets put into a bad position. They are able to resurrect it, and that is the power of Mercy. In case you forgot, Season 1, Stage 1, able to bring people back to life, not the same power level. Now Jinmu very low. He's going to stay alive, though. They should be able to finish this off.
Oh, buddy, that was the Hail Mary. That was the Hail Mary barrage.
Yeah, weird. Well, that was the Fail Mary. You're absolutely correct. No idea why they thought that was going to work out. Ended up getting plunked in the head, and because of that, they're now on the back foot. 20 seconds left. That sound means 20 seconds left, not that you're in a dream within a dream.
We're about to find out, are they capable? And there it is, grab point blank, just gonna be buying more time here. 10 seconds on the clock, and the Hunters no longer have a diva. Whatever you do not kill Late Young. Just leave him be. He'll have to work to get that mech back, and now it's gonna be Among all on his own. On the point, he gets focused down. Jinmu trying to do the best that he can on high. We have an EMP thrown in, but only 2 get hacked on the Dragon side.
He's able to posthumously get a kill as he left the minefield, and now he's back to life, back in the mix. Gamsu's able to take out Late Young, and now they use KO. Jinmu falls soon after. That is going to just about be it, off into the drink. That's the progress. That's where it ends.
That's gonna be it. Hunters. If we go all this way, Hex. Tied up 4-4. Hunters look so good. Such a fantastic start. Bit of variety and positioning on defense. And then here we are.
You saw the potential of how the Hunters can play when they coordinate ults, when they communicate well on their first run. Oh, look at this. EMP, into the side, barrage, 5 kill. 5 kill barrage is amazing, unseen most often. And then they were just like, oh, we're good. We're good. I'll just, remember that 5K barrage? I'll just barrage. Oh, I didn't, and then that was half 2. And half 3 just got worse.
It just goes and goes and goes.
It is confusing. I mean, these guys, I love them because they're scrappy, because they play in a different style and so a little bit like, clean it up. Just clean it up a little bit and you would still have a viable composition. It would, we've seen it work. Just clean it up.
The possibility is there, but you have to be so tight with the game plan to make it work.
All right.
Dragons.
I love that they're running this on defense now too.
I mean, why not?
Let's go for it.
Let's go for it. The thing is, now there is a legitimate, I wonder. Because on offense, right, you know, they could go for some quick changes here.
Yeah, you could try to run a counter, try to run a McCree. I mean, we've seen Diem very capable, hit scan hero. Very capable.
They just don't have a lot of time.
Several different DPS. Yeah, but you can still switch like immediately when you see this. They've got the Sombra in, the Sombra's gonna see it, but you might as well just go for it. I mean, this composition has worked against Chengdou's offense, so maybe it'll work against the defense.
Ding not going to go for it. Was a potential for a hack on the Mercy, perhaps? It was a bit long range, would have been brave.
Oh, get out! The whip shot. Hack so he can't even grapple out of the side and swing himself back up, and then the whip shot. That's the kind of coordination that you need to just get those easy eliminations. You can't resurrect that one. He's in the deep.
Get on it. I mean, now it's all about Jinmu. He's so close to a barrage again. It's bonkers how quick he's charging his ult, but the rest of his team, they're getting cut off. And there's quite a bit of progress. Only a single tick is all Shanghai need right now to collect victory in this series. Chain up wins in the Overwatch League.
Was a hack. Can they get the res? You got to cover for this res. Try to bring them back to life. The Valkyrie is out.
Late Young's dead. Elza probably gonna die too. There was a stun going off. Elza hanging on by a thread, pinned in the corner, goes for the EMP, just hoping to get anything out of it, but right now there's no follow-up by the looks of it. The mines go out, nobody cares. The hack goes on to the Mercy, she's dead. This could very well be it. The Shanghai Dragons right on the edge of picking up their second win, and they will succeed. The Shanghai Dragons do it. 3-0.
Shanghai, 2 wins in a row. That's what you call a winning streak for the first time in Shanghai history. Good for them. Well, we will play map 4 when we return after the break in just a bit.
The Overwatch League is powered by Intel. Game, record, stream without compromise on Intel Core i7. And by Omen by HP, the official PC and display of the Overwatch League.
Welcome back, everybody. Shanghai have done it, as you can see. No, actually, never mind, it's gone. But it used to be all red back there, and Shanghai wins. You know, that was the big thing there. Shanghai have done it.
You really paint a picture. So yeah, Shanghai will go to 2-2. Unfortunately, the Hunters will fall to 2-2, so not quite out of it yet. Look, I still respect the Hunters for what they do. I appreciate it. I think they're actually really close to just making it work more consistently and just a little more practice. We are going to play out map 4 because both these teams are 2-2 now, and map differential matters. So, I mean, there's going to be tiebreakers at some point here, and so we got to play it out. And I'm actually really looking forward to this one because Dorado is a map that the circus will continue. Roll the music on because Shanghai plays weird stuff. Last time Chengdou played on this map, I believe they ran double sniper and Orisa on their offense, double sniper and ball on their defense. So, hey, let's keep into it.
I'm all about this, man, especially because now they've got nothing to lose. That's it. It's just the last map here for the Hunters, and they are going for some crazy stuff. We may actually have a sub as well, so that'll be interesting to keep an eye on here for the Hunters. Yeah, there it is. It's almost like magic, Hex. I ask, and I receive. Bacon.
This makes me believe that they do want to run double sniper here, as Bacon Jack is kind of their widow ace up their sleeve. So yeah, if you did not enjoy tank-heavy compositions, slamming into tank-heavy compositions, look, I like it, but a man can only take so much nuance and strategy. Bring me the chaos. Bring me the snipers. Bring me the headshots. That's what Bacon Jack's probably coming in for, if history is any indicator.
The simplicity of the red mist.
The red mist.
Yeah,
Gotta get that pink mist. And you got Hanzo dragons. You got just all sorts of fun stuff. So, looking, pretty happy with their winning streak. Like I said, this is not the Shanghai Dragons that went 0-40.
No,
But
absolutely
but
not.
it's still like it's still a mental thing, right? Had they started 0-4, people would be like, oh, same old, and then you start becoming those Shanghai Dragons. So it was really good for them to get their first win. Got 2 wins. I mean, it's quite literally the first winning streak in Shanghai Dragons history. So very good for them. They're going to try to close it out. I mean, a first 4-0 in their history could be on the books as well. So Shanghai Dragons continue to rewrite their own history. We're going to head over to Dorado. See how it all shakes out in the land of pinatas.
Yeah, exactly. Colorful stuff and colorful comps certainly are going to follow with the Hunters.
I mean, it is appropriate that there's kind of like a festive environment on Dorado. There's pinatas for the clown fiesta that we will be witnessing. And I say that as a term of endearment. I think I've expressed enough how in love I am with this style of play.
I mean, that's the better way of using the CF, but you know, that's definitely what's going down, Hex. Because now it is going to be. Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank
This
you.
is your very typical.
Going streaking. Definitely not on stream. Definitely not on stream.
Is your very typical Orisa, Widowmaker, Hanzo, Junkrat. Okay, no, yeah, that's right. They do play the Tracer into it. You know, it's standard strat on Dorado.
Listen, dude, it could work. It could totally work, Hex. Oh, ye of little faith.
Oh, dude, I'm for it. I'm 100% for it.
I mean, just leave the horse.
Yeah, just getting shots. Coma down, already a first pick. Get out of here. I'm trying to shoot people and you're annoying me. Dang, out of the mix as well as the cart continues to push.
I love how just overwhelming this is. Oh, nice shot. Jinmo, now you get to just shoot at shields. But, you know, Hanzos are fairly good at that.
Well, he's also good at cracking the shields because of that ability right there where he fires a fast volley. Yeah, deaths are not permanent for Chengdou. It's only a brief interruption. That one's gonna be permanent. Aim on him, about to fall. A lot of healing comes in, clutch healing.
Yeah, man, Mercy just cranks out the heals. And there you go, just barely hanging in there. And now Gamsu is dead. You forgot this, Hex? You forgot this?
Aim on it, no
Pepperidge Farm didn't
business.
forget
No
the
business
Mercy.
living through that. So when you're facing an Orisa with this kind of composition, you just walk through the shield and start swinging at it. That's it. That's all you have to do. But then the dragon comes in, you get pickoffs. Oh, man. This is a great way to end the day. I'm so happy.
5 minutes on the clock. It's not about to end anytime soon. We get a stick as well. Elza, not too worried about this, though. Oh, never mind. Never mind. Youngjin. I thought he was against the Zarya for a second, and then it's like, oh, no, wait, hold on, that's Brigitte. Oh, wait, he's dead.
There's a reason you don't fight face first into a Brigitte as a Tracer player. And that reason on ample display right there.
Well, Jinmu's going to be able to survive the pressure. Gamsu also crouching, providing his supports with valuable ult charge. Now it's on the Shanghai Dragons. You've already given up the first point. Now you got to figure out how to control these choke points. Kyo is in the back line right now, and he is about to get his EMP. So this could go south pretty quick in a handbag for the Dragons.
Tracer's back there too, but the Transcendence comes out.
Oh.
So now,
Yeah, now you
not going to EMP, you're going to wait for it to dissipate.
They don't even have to worry about it. Dragon on top. Ding's got to be careful. He nearly gets wiped out. We will have the Mongos going down as well. The big fight is about to go. Jinmu, yeah, not quite able to find the shots.
Well, death is but a nuisance as Amon comes back to life. And now they're cleaning up all of the kills. And they better win this fight because they did use every ultimate ability that they had. But they're able to crack the spawn camp hold. My biggest concern now is what happens if you get Gravitoned. However, I'm less concerned because a Grav's max value is probably 2 people here. They're just not playing on the same part of the map as each other. They're all over the place.
So who's the priority target? Is it just Amon again and hope that you can kill him this time?
I mean, you would like to get Evoltal because he's the only healer.
Too true. Bacon tech, get out. There we go. It is the solo Jinmu. I mean, you know, you take out the Hanzo as well. Now DM's going to just go ahead and melt some faces.
Yeah, but if you can cover for this, you might be able to resurrect.
Not going to happen. Wings are out. They are so far forward now, the Dragons. They are taking the fight to him. Maybe overstepping. Luffy pays with his life. Elsa gets it, but the bubble is up. Bubbles, man.
I mean, that was a beautiful fadeaway shot. Well, Steph Curry there gets it on the fadeaway, but they're still cleaning this up. And now, I mean, the thing is that Shanghai ends up isolating themselves, trying to chase these heroes around that are ultra mobile and playing all over the map. and they're able to capitalize on it.
That would have been so sick for Gamsu instead. He's
Evil fall
looking.
in trouble though, dies first.
Kills all over the place, and Gamsu hung around just a little bit too long. Gotta remember, buddy, it's not tanks that you're playing against here, it's actual damage dealers. Get ahead of yourself, you're gonna get punished.
Yeah, Koma's able to take down Elsa, and now we've hit a lull in the action. No ultimates ready for Chengdou, but same can be said for Shanghai. Now we get into the little micro game of Sombra versus Zenyatta. Zenyatta's been dying a lot in these fights because, I mean, snipers are very good against dealing with Zenyatta. He doesn't have any movement abilities. He's very predictable on the ground. Transcendence is going to come out first.
Yeah, he's stuck. Luffy decides to throw it in here. Wings out for Yveltal as well. Kyo, however, gets eliminated by DM, so no EMP for this fight. Shanghai still has to be careful. Gamsu nearly gets overwhelmed, and they are really trying to press this forward here on the Hunter's side. Just constantly giving ground. Shanghai not willing to give up just yet. There's a minute 40 on the clock for the Hunters.
Well, I think this is how you play against this composition. You find the people who can't move that well, one being the horse, ironically enough, and the Orisa, and you just focus all of your energy there, and you'll always get that kill. Well, it's no use trying to chase down Tracer with triple blink and these snipers with all their movement abilities. And now they've decided, yeah, they're just chasing down our tank, so let's go from stationary tank to, well, a hamster and a giant mobile ball.
2 tons of hamster goes slamming in and promptly dies at the hands of Dig. Help of the Discord, help of the damage, but it is still the Dragons doing a fantastic job of stabilizing after the initial chaos. Turns out, hey, DM, okay, just scope up right there. Yep, that's all you want to do. Now let's all just wait. Oh, come on!
There is nothing that tilts me faster as Sombra than someone camping my translocator when I get back.
I'm sure he could get the angle down too. You see, now he's regretting it. Now he's like, well, nothing's happening. I could have totally just sat there and got that kill.
Now, meanwhile, EMP comes out in the back line looking for a stick, instead completely rocked. DM reminds the world that he is a very capable Widowmaker himself. And it has been all Shanghai the last several minutes since they've gotten a figure on this composition. Amon back on the Orisa, but it's not gonna matter. 10 seconds left. They may not even get back to the payload.
It's a long way to go. Even no boost. Hammond trying to zip in. Hammond's gonna be able to get in there.
Well, they're just gonna ignore him. They're just gonna fight everybody else.
And kill him.
Or self-destruct, yeah, it doesn't matter. They'll go deal with the Hammond later, but there's no use everyone trying to turn their back and getting shot in the back as you go back to deal with them.
Oh, buddy, that was great decision-making there on the Shanghai side of things. They are going to be able to get the focus through. Emong doing the best he can to survive, but it certainly will not be for long. He's dead. Elsa's gone, and that is going to be it. It's the end of the push for the Hunters. And the Dragons stabilizing in the end.
It was
Bacon
good.
Jack is just like, but I clicked on heads.
Not enough. Not enough heads.
Actually, he only clicked on heads twice. So yeah, you're right, not enough.
It was a very good response from Shanghai there. They transitioned into dive tanks, which are your D.Va and your Winston. They're very good against snipers. They close the distance, and that's it. Then they've got DM on their own Widowmaker to make the other Widow's job harder. Obviously, Bacon Jack did not excel in that matchup. And then he's able to pick off people from a distance, so he doesn't have to chase down a Tracer, just headshots across the map. Sombra effect, so it was a nice transition. They didn't have to change a whole lot, but I mean, it seemed a lot different early on, but really, Luffy only died 3 times as a Zenyatta against double sniper. It's pretty solid.
Yeah, he did a great job of just playing around the corners. Hiding around doorways, just cutting off the lines of sight as soon as you know where they're coming from. Map awareness. Map awareness. Thought I saw an Ashe there for a second.
You did.
Okay. Guess that's not meant to be.
They're toying with you.
They're just toying with my feelings. Ding. You know, another sniper, sort of. Well, I mean, yeah, he's going to the legit sniper now.
Well, the last time I watched some Shanghai tape on this map, they ran a Pharah Widow on offense and later on defense. So, like I said, this one, Dorado has been an interesting map for both of these teams. Not out of the realm of possibility that they'll transition into something else. But I believe if they were going to run a Widow, it would be DM on it, but I don't know. It's map 4. All things are off. We've seen teams kind of just give up map 4s today.
No Widow for you, Hex. No Widow for any of us.
Boo.
Never mind. Bacon Jack is still on Widow. But on the Dragon side of things, they've gone back to the tried and true.
Yeah.
They want to end it quick.
Well, also, the Shanghai knows that you can't run a Pharah into this composition. You're just asking for pain. Hanzo is, you know, he's a projectile hero, but it feels a lot like Hitscan with his projectile speed the way it is. Early on, though, they've lost two real quick. Time to go back to spawn.
Yes, they're caught in a crossfire, Hex, and that's never pleasant. Jinmo even going to go ahead and just, wow, yeah, leave him. Leave Ding. Ding, you got a tough choice now. Actually, never mind. Yes, you do.
All right, we're going to see a Widow of their own for Shanghai. DM is going to go to Widow. It's because of where Bacon Jack is perched so far back that
Yes.
it's going to be difficult for the tanks to get there, although this D.Va is going to try to do it.
Oh, yes.
Oh, playing with fire there, Jinmu.
But he's got excellent team peel coming in, Hex. Doesn't have to worry. 2 tons of mech there to save him. Oh, well, now Jinmu. Oh, got the body shot. Do they get the follow-up? Doesn't look like it. It looks like the man will survive for a little while longer. In fact, the follow-up there, the Hunter's now starting to rack up the ults, though.
They're going to resurrect him. He's got a Dragon ready, too. So far, Hunters have really aggressively held this and just making the comp work.
Youngjin just getting a few extra meters progress. Nobody's paying attention to me. That's fine. I'll go ahead and try and continue to push.
Who's the sniper here? Is it Kyo? He's just finishing off these kills on the Zenyatta. Actually got 5 final blows. Bacon Jack, rather, only 3 final blows. I gotta say, Jinmu's putting in work, though. 16 limb, 10 final blows.
Yeah. Jinmu right now is having a field day. Oh, the Dragon? It was an ambitious one, Hex. Ambitious.
Zoning Dragon.
Zoning Dragon. He's going to pay with his life. Headshot from DM. Ends it. And then Gamsu, you know, just doing his thing, leaping around, jumping for joy. And, you know, there's no joy allowed, no happiness allowed. Hunter's going to take care of that. What is that?
Well, there's nothing to stop a self-destruct. So if you get out there and there's really no escape, if there's cooldowns already been used, you're just in trouble.
Progress is going to continue to be made, however, Elza. I mean, just trying to be a hard target to hit, but there's the headshot and there's the follow-up, and we will have a first point picked up here for the Dragons, certainly.
Yeah, Jinmu back into it, but you're right. That is going to be first points taken.
Just chaos. Oh, wow, just chucked it right over there.
Yeah, I saw him over there.
Oh, right in the doorway. Perfect angle, perfect timing.
I don't think I've ever seen a self-destruct over there before.
That was sick. DM, though. It's like, challenge me. Looking for the shots. You got to hit the shots, though, DM. Come on. And they're just
doing
pushing
enough
up back.
damage. Now he's got some cleanup from his tanks.
Oh, well, the problem is that they left Luffy alone on the payload, and how long just got to that kill? All right, now they can go ahead and start pushing the payload.
Oh, the sad life of the lone payload pusher.
You know, what's funny is that it's like a Zenyatta now who's pushing the payload. It used to be the Lucios, right?
Yeah, Lucio, tweeting from the payload. Our friend wins, tweeting from the payload.
Throwback. Still. Angles are up. 1 sniper per bridge. Never mind. Make that 1 sniper left here for the Hunters. Still running the double snipers. I approve. Oh, DM, however, does not. He's making his displeasure felt with bullets through the brain pans, and he is looking hot. Ding as well. Finds a kill, self-destruct there. DM, and now on the angle, continues to look for it. Misses the body shot, but now he gets to see through walls. His teammates are conspiring against him, Hex. This isn't fair. He's going to take this shot, and then a monkey goes right.
Well, that's how you explain the first miss. The subsequent 5 I'm sure about. It matters not, as the Shanghai Dragons' second win is a 4-0 sweep of the Chengdou Hunters.
There you have it. Possible to make it happen. Congratulations to the Dragons.
Should be no surprise, it is their first ever sweep in the Overwatch League, going back to last year.
Their second ever win.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I needed to spell that out.
It was a stretch.
You know, our producer makes me say stuff sometimes, and I'm like, I don't know if I should say that. And then he yells at me, and I'm like, come on, dude.
Oh, no.
Anyway, it's been fun to watch Shanghai emerge as a new team. DM is something to be reckoned with. I still enjoy watching Chengdou. Chengdou's been all over the place. They take them to 5 and they get victories, and then sometimes they get swept. So it's a team that's really hard to pin down based on the compositions they're on. Does it work? Is it actually legit, or is it just throwing people off? didn't throw Shanghai off today. Let's toss down to the floor and see what our insider Danny has to say with us.
Thank you, Semler and Hex. Yes, I am here with DM from Shanghai Dragons. Everybody, give it up. Congratulations, DM. I feel like you guys were pretty dominant in today's matchup against the Chengdou Hunters. And did you feel more relaxed or more at ease today because you guys had your first win last week in the franchise? 자, DM 선수 오늘 굉장히 좋은 모습을 많이 보여주셨는데 아무래도 저번 주에 상하이 팀의 첫 우승이 있었기 때문에 오늘 경기에 임하면서 조금 더 편한 마음으로 경기에 임하셨다고 생각하십니까?
네, 저희가 첫 승보다는 그래도 첫 승하고 나니까 이제 다음 승은 좀 더 마음이 편하더라고요.
Yes, that is very true. Coming into the match, because we already had our first win, I felt more at ease, and it was actually working out for us and the team. All right, cool. Thank you so much. And talking about today's matchup against Chengdou Hunters are actually known for their unique composition. And so, how did you and the team actually prepare for today's matchup? 자, 또 청두 얘기를 조금 더 하자면은 청두 팀이 아무래도 조금 더 재밌는 조합을 들고 나오는 팀이잖아요. 그러면서 이제 상하이 팀과 또 저희 또 DM 선수는 오늘 경기를 위해서 좀 어떻게 준비를 하셨나요?
저희는 청두전에서 상대 레킹볼 위주로 생각을 많이 했고 그 레킹볼을 어떻게 하면 대처를 할 수 있을지 전략을 많이 짜고 왔어요.
So we actually thought more about Chengdou Hunters' wrecking ball, and we knew that going into the match, we're going to use the wrecking ball composition. So we actually directed our strategy for the wrecking ball composition, and that worked out. All right, cool. Thank you guys so much. Everyone, give it up for DM. That's all I have. Semler and Hex, back to you guys.
Thank you, Danny. And yes, there we have it. Standings as they go. Hex, I'm sure you'll be shocked to find out. This is a change if you were a fan in Season 1. The Shanghai Dragons are still in the running for the Stage 1 playoffs.
Yeah, top 10 there. I think there's a disconnect between the very top and then everyone else behind it, but 8 teams will make our stage playoffs cutoff. A lot of ties, and I harp on it. I try to make map 4 important sometimes, but it is, because you look at these, there's no way that there's not going to be a 4-3, 4-3, 3-4, 3-4 that doesn't get decided by map differential. So truly, every map will matter.
Well, there we have it, Hex. Couldn't have put it better myself. And you'll get more time to elaborate on that because you happen to be joining the desk. That's right, Watch Point will be coming up next, guys. Hex is gonna be on it. Do not miss it. He's gonna be taking down Brent. He's gonna be bringing the pain. Zoe's running in fear. And this is all going down in just a few minutes. We'll be back after this break.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by T-Mobile. High ground or low ground, T-Mobile has you covered. And by State Farm. Whatever life brings your way, State Farm is here to help life go right.